I say, laying here in bed awake, overthinking my specialty, overthinking I need to breathe. I do this all the time, afraid of failure, can't see the light.
Well, I'm 29 from Miami, Latino American. Uh, I'm not sure what do you want to know.
Oh, well, just anything you want to give. So, like, I guess what inspired you to make music?
Music has always been a part of my life. Growing up, I learned piano at a really young age. Then the guitar followed, then the cello, and it's always been kind of like an outlet for me.
Mm-hmm.
So when these really kind of traumatic things started happening to me, I kind of used music as a way to like cope
Mm-hmm.
and to like process those things. And it's just become like second nature at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So like whenever something good or bad happens, I write a song about it, or I'll
Yeah.
make like a track to it or something.
Mm-hmm. Do you write outside of emotions? So do you write like just sit down and start writing like just when you're kind of feeling like in between the emotions?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I've been lately like starting to experiment with like telling like stories and narratives outside of myself and like my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I've been doing.
Yeah. So what made you want to start doing that? Just like going outside of yourself to write.
I think whose album? Well, there were a few albums, but mainly Conan Gray.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to his album and like some of his storytelling and like a couple of his songs,
Mm-hmm.
and that just kind of inspired me. Like, hey, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
That's something cool to like kind of tell a story about someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. So what do you have in the works? Like how many songs do you have like in the vault or that you're working on?
Oh, in the vault, I have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like this year alone, I've made I think 93
Wow.
or 94, something like that. Yeah. So like the ones that I really like or that I think are good, like those are the ones that I kind of like put out there.
Mm-hmm.
And in the works, I'm working on an EP right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have like another idea, because I have two ideas that I've been working on simultaneously, because I'm sure that happens to a lot of like artists.
Mm-hmm.
They have so many ideas running around in their head. They're just
Exactly.
like, let me try and do it all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the EP like is basically done. It's just I got to work on some mixing and mastering right now. And that's sort of going to be like a filler before this next project that I've been working on for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how many songs from the 93 are you putting out within the EP and the album?
4 of them, actually.
4? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you're still going to be sitting on loads of songs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's crazy. Like, I mean, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. I'm not saying it's crazy. I'm just saying, like, that's wow. Like that. Like a lot of people have like, for me, I thought my vault was big, but I have like maybe like 20 songs like just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of people like you, like 90, 100. Like, how do you come up with all that and then just be like, actually, I don't like it? Like, would you consider yourself like a really big like critic to your own music?
I'm a huge critic for myself. Like I'm my worst critic, I think.
Mm-hmm. So where do you think that comes from?
I mean, I'm sure it comes from a lot of places, but it's hard to kind of give like one specific answer because it comes from so many different places.
Yeah.
Being your own worst critic. I try not to let it get in the way though.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps having like really supportive like friends and family when they're like, no, this song is like actually good. Go release it. Don't just like keep it in the vault and like let it sit there.
Yeah, those are really good because also, being a critic as an artist, we think that a lot of our music isn't good and that it doesn't deserve to see the light of the day. But a lot of people, they just enjoy music. And so if they listen to it, they're like, you know what? I actually really like this. And then you're listening back like, you like this mess? And they're like, yeah, like this is my favorite song now. Like some of my worst songs, people tell me are their favorite songs from me. And I'm like, really? Like what? So just a mental note. Like your songs are probably a lot better than you think they are. That are sitting in there. So let me ask you this. So what would you say is your life motto?
My life's motto. even if you're uncomfortable, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it makes you uncomfortable, do it. I spent way too much of my life like being uncomfortable about something and then like choosing not to do it and missing out on opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Like the quickest way to like avoid blocking your own blessings is to just do something that makes you uncomfortable.
Exactly. And that's a good place to grow, because if you're in your comfort zone, if you're in this little box, then the most you can grow is within that box, you know. So if you step out of your comfort zone, then the way you can grow is boundless, you know. And so I really like that as your motto. I feel like I have to be really soft spoken right now.
Why?
I guess I'm just mirroring you, you know, and you're like,
Okay,
soft spoken. And then, you know, that last interview, I saw you had came in at the end, and he was loud, and I was mirroring him. So I'm just trying to keep it, you know.
That too.
Yeah. I'm just trying to keep.
Well, by all means, if you want to be loud, go for it, because then I'll start mirroring you.
Okay. Well, hey, okay. So let's get on with this. All right. So, so when did you start making music?
When?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when did I start making music that I considered good? Last year.
Last year? Okay.
When did I actually start? When I was like 15. But like, it wasn't that good. I looked through some of it the other day, and it wasn't. It made me cringe so hard.
Most of mine do too, but I'm like, you know, there's some key points in there that, you know, if I just expanded upon them a little bit and rewrote them, they might be pretty good. I don't know. Oh man, you froze. Dang.
Oh, I did?
Oh, you good now?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. So, how many songs do you have released right now?
Released? Oh, I have 8, 16, and then a couple singles. I want to say 19 released right now.
And which one is your favorite out of all of those?
Oh, out of all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tough to say. Those are like my little babies.
Yeah. It's hard to
pick. But I think off this last album I just released, I think the song Overthinking is probably my favorite.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down just so I can. And why is that?
Well, because it's something that I've struggled, like overthinking about my decisions and like the things that I do. I overthink all the time. So like lyrically, it means a lot to me. And then in the song, I do things like vocally that I haven't really done. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the album just kind of followed suit, because that was the first song that I made off that album.
Okay. What's the album called again?
Overthinking.
Oh, so the whole album's called Overthinking. I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay. I could have just put all that together, I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna listen back to it, and then I'm gonna think of, you know, what you said, and then I'll probably message you, let you know how I feel about it. I'll probably love it. If you love it, then I'll probably definitely love it. So what would you say to an artist who's just starting out and they're like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know how I'm going to, you know, make a name for myself. I don't know how I'm even going to start making music that sounds good. I don't know. You know, what would you say to them?
To them, I'd say, I mean, maybe this is after school special. I don't know. But like, don't give up. Just like keep pushing forward. Yeah. Every time you find like an obstacle, whether it's one that the world gives you or one that you give yourself, just push past it and just keep it moving. Yeah. I like that. It's not after school special. That's needed, man. I like that a lot. Okay. Let me see. Do you have any questions for me? Yeah, I kind of have a few. Okay. So like, what made you want to start doing this? Okay, so what made me want to start Ascendance is, you know, I'm an artist myself. And so being an artist, you kind of know the struggle of, you know, trying to get on blogs, trying to get on podcasts, trying to get your music out there, and just trying to find that support. And I was like, you know, what if instead of seeking that, I offered that? You know, so what if I gave that to other artists who, you know, other blogs probably wouldn't even give that chance to, you know, like the bigger ones who, like, you have to wait like months and months and months. And, you know, we're doing like 3 a week. So we're trying to get them out as best we can. And so like, and then again, like if you don't have an EPK, if you don't have professional photos, if you don't have already blogs behind you, you know, it's harder for you to get accepted into those other blogs. So
just so more people can hear your music. And so that was a really big part of it, just being that support system, but also just, hyping people up, listening to their music, putting them on some playlists. And we're still figuring out, how to get, a lot of traction to those playlists so that, once we put you on those playlists, you're actually getting those listens. So that was the main part of it, is, like giving a voice to the people that may not have felt like they've had a voice before, and you don't have to be super polished or anything like that.
That's amazing, because you don't see that a lot out here, or at least I haven't seen it. You guys are some of the first people that are doing this kind of thing. So I think that's amazing.
Thank you, man. And it's dope of you to, like, even want to hop on here and do an interview with us, because to the end of it, we're also just artists as well, out here trying to do it, and us getting to know you and getting to hang out with you and hear your music, it's really a blessing, really. So
yeah.
What other questions you got, man?
Oh, now my mind wants to go blank. It was going like 100 miles an hour.
That's literally
before.
what mine did. Literally. Are we thinking too much? Are we over?
I think
we might be overthinking. Yeah. Oh, I can't hear you. I think your phone's doing something weird. Hello?
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yeah, the audio got cut off.
Oh, okay. Because it was
sorry.
I was like, what is she saying to me? but were you saying something though?
No, just letting you know.
Just letting me know the audio was cut off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, sweet. Yeah. Did you think of your questions? Because if not, I'm gonna go back into my questions. Let me see.
Let's dive right into them.
Okay, let's dive right into them. Okay, so what is your why? So people always say, like, you have to have your why. That way, when you don't feel like doing it, you have something to hang on to. So, like, what's your thing you hang on to?
Thing I hang on to is that music is a part of me. Again, this feels after school special for some reason.
But it's not. It's not.
Music is a part of me, and it just, I don't know, it drives me. It's what I like eat, like what I breathe. It's what I think about, like 24/7. Like when I'm at work, I'm thinking about music. Like it's like pushing me forward.
Yeah.
And the way I see about it, it's like I'm trying to make like a soundtrack to my life almost. That's what each of the songs are. Just like little snippets of like, at this moment in time, this is the music that was like describing everything that was happening.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Because literally the interview right before you, he said, like, the same thing. And that's the first time I've ever heard, really? An artist kind of describe their music as such. And that's, I feel like that's, I don't know, something crazy is happening in the world right now. I'm just saying, away from that. Anyways, I'm sorry. Okay. I like that. So it's just a part of you. And so that's your why. That's your biggest why, is like, even if you didn't feel like doing it, like that's what you're thinking about all the time. It's like,
exactly,
music. I used to do that too. I used to work as a stalker at HEB, and I'd be in the back room just writing down lyrics on my notepad, like in the freezer, just rapping it out loud or whatever. And so, don't tell nobody, but I don't work there no more, so I guess it don't matter. But anyway, back to you. So that's just my mother's phone. She's staying with me for a little bit. Dang, I don't know why I spaced out on my questions. I don't know what it is. Gosh.
It happens.
Okay. What kind of artist would you consider yourself to be?
What kind of artist?
Yeah, so like what genre would you put yourself in? Yeah.
Ooh, I was afraid it was gonna be this question. The genre question.
Oops. We can rewind. Okay.
What genre? I want to say genre fluid. I don't really want to put myself into a box. Some people have told me indie. Some people have told me like R&B, but I don't know. I want to say genre fluid. If that's not a genre,
no, that's definitely a genre. It's definitely a genre. It is for sure. Yeah. So genre fluid. Okay. I feel you on that. So when you go to write a song, like what does that process look like for you?
It's probably the hardest part of the process, specifically because like starting a song is always difficult for me. Like where to start it, but once I got that first verse, everything else just kind of flows quickly.
Really. So do you start with your verse first every time, or? Wow. Okay. Those are always the hardest for me. Like most time I start off with the hook, and then I'm like, what else am I supposed to say about this? Because everything's in the hook pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it is for me. So you do verse, and then you write the hook, or you do like verse, hook,
I'll
second
do
verse,
verse, then like the pre-chorus, then I'll do the chorus, and then after that, then I'll do the next verse, and then I try and change up the pre-choruses sometimes, but yeah, that's normally how I do it, and then I'll end with the bridge.
Okay, and so you said you live with no, not you. You said so. Do you produce your beats?
Yeah,
you do. Okay, so what's that process like?
Well, that process is, I don't know. I find something that I like, either if it's like a loop or something, or like me playing the guitar or on the piano. Like once I find something I like, I just build on it.
Yeah.
And
so that part's easier. So as you're making the beat, are you thinking about like what kind of vibe you're gonna go for when you start writing it, or are you just thinking about strictly the beat?
Strictly the beat, because usually the beat is what mirrors how I'm feeling anyways. So if I think too much about the lyrics, then I kind of lose it in like making the beat. Yeah.
Okay.
So to like,
no, go ahead, continue. Go on.
Okay. But like to not lose it, it's really difficult, and I have to give myself like little breaks in between. And by little breaks, it's usually like 5 minutes, because then my brain starts like, no, you have to go back to it.
Really? So can you not like step away too long with your songs, or are you able to with some of them?
With some of them I can, but for the most part, like it's hard to step away. Like I have to like sit there till it's finished.
Yeah. Wow. So like, okay. So you mean like just that one part, right? So making the beat, you have to sit there till it's finished, or making the beat and then writing the song.
Usually it's everything, but like if I make the beat, then I can give myself like 30 minutes.
30
but
minutes.
Like once I start writing lyrics, like that's it. You've lost me. I'm just focused on this.
Wow. So what's been the longest time it's taken you from like making the beat to writing a song, start to finish?
Start to finish? Around 8 hours.
8 hours. Wow.
Yeah. And that was mostly because of the lyrics to one.
And it just took you a little bit.
Yeah, like it cut really deep, that song.
Oh yeah.
So it was like a little emotional. So it was just like, I was kind of fighting myself to write it.
Yeah. Was it therapeutic though?
Oh, super cathartic. Like once I finished it, I felt like this big release, and I just felt like, like I could breathe again.
Yeah. So is that a song that you have released? That song that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Which song is that one?
Sunken Place.
Sunken Place? Okay. Sunken Place.
Yeah, it's on the Overthinking album.
Okay. Dang, I guess I'm just gonna have to listen to the whole album. I think that's what's gonna have to go down. So when you said you do your own engineering as well, right?
I try to. I do my best.
Okay. So did you mix the Sunken Places and everything? Okay. So was it, as you were going back and listening to it, as you were mixing it, like, did it make you emotional as well?
It really did. And it got to a point where I just had to be like, okay, you have to stop. You just have to release it. Because like you can't just keep sitting here and just mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing. Also, it was really emotional for me. So I had to stop at some point.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. So we are about to run out of time. So I'm gonna ask you again. Did any of your questions come back to your mind?
Yes.
Okay.
What is your why?
My why is so okay. To explain it, it's like this. So some things I'm really passionate about is progress over perfection. The non-existence of the timeline that society puts on you, and just like growth, which is in the name, ascendance. And like my own personal logo for my music is like a progress bar, because it's like one thing I've said is like you can spend years behind doors working on your craft, or you can like let the world see you work on it and get and progress along the way, and then maybe inspire them to do it. Like say, like I don't have to be perfect to start making music, or I don't have to be 20 years old to start pursuing a career in this, or I don't have to, like I don't have to listen to the world tells me that I have to do. Like I don't have to do that. And so I think my biggest why is just like being that outlet for other people, to let them know that you can do what you want when you want to do it, and you don't have to do it perfectly, as long as you are focused on progressing and being the best you that you can be. So I think
that's a pretty good one.
I think that's mine.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. Thank you for having me.
No time for thoughts. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. No time for thoughts. Get out of your head. Get out of your head.